Hi, my name is Natalie, and my friends call me Nutella because I am as sweet as chocolate spread Nutella. Haha. I wanted to speak a little bit about the shadow work that I do and the naked yoga that we practice in Tel Aviv, which is in Israel. If you have any political opinions, that's great, but I'm not here to talk about that. I am here to talk about the spiritual and conscious work that we do with the naked yoga, which is a tantric yoga practice taught by my teacher, Nemo. He's been my teacher for 2 years, and I've been doing all my healing work with him. And I also studied with him how to be a healer and how to do the work and the shadow work. So what is shadow work? I know we hear a lot about light workers and peace and love, and we see a lot of hippies and they all look happy and whatever. I don't believe them that much. Shadow work is what I do in the healing sessions and the naked yoga. So we have a lot of parts of ourselves that we don't like that much, even hate sometimes. Some negative traits. We might think we're deep inside, we're liars, very jealous, very bitter people. We each have some negative characteristics that we don't like about ourselves, and we've embraced in childhood that were basically mechanisms of protecting ourselves from different circumstances, but we kind of adapted and adopted these traits as our own. And then we might be an adult, and I used to think I was a lie all the time, and I used to lie a lot. Even I would be able to say, like, I'm a very honest person, which is true, I am a very honest person, but then when things in the outside world would hit my emotional triggers, then suddenly I would lie. It could be small lies, big lies, white lies, or really bad lies, but it would happen when I was triggered emotionally. And that's why we do the shadow work, because dancing and singing Kumbaya and talking about how lovely life is, that's amazing, that's great, that's positive attitude, and it is good. But it's good when it comes together with the shadow work, with actually looking inside myself, seeing what pain I still have there, what pain my inner child still has and still carries around with me every single day, and kind of diving into those pains and the painful memories from childhood, and the negative attributes that we have, and the negative characteristics and behaviors that we have in our lives. That's our shadow, and it's not anything evil from the outside or a demon trying to take control over us. No, it's our shadow. It's like Peter Pan and his shadow. It's my shadow, but it's a shadow that was created out of a lot of pain from childhood, misunderstandings of reality and how things work, how love works, and a lot of things that we've misunderstood when we were children. And it's hard to do shadow work because the first part of it is to accept the fact that we have these traits and that we do these things, and that's very hard to admit. I mean, the mind and the ego are so powerful. They will tell you stories about yourself that you don't need to do the work, and it's all lies, and you're perfect. But then you walk down the street and someone kind of runs you over by mistake, and then you scream and all hell lets loose on this person who's done something by mistake. I was sitting on my balcony. This old lady was coming out of the street, and this old man was on his scooter, and she didn't see him. She didn't run him over, but she kind of stopped last minute. And it wasn't that dramatic, but this guy was all hysterical and was screaming at her and yelling at her, and you shouldn't be driving anymore, you old hag. And he was like, whoa, hold on. So, things in life can trigger us emotionally. It was cut in the middle because of a phone call. So basically what I'm trying to say is, we can be happy kumbaya people and do meditation and do yoga and eat healthy and be really good people, and then walk down the street and a person or something that happens will trigger us emotionally. And as long as we have the emotional blockages and the shadow work, as long as we have that painful, sad shadow within us, we'll be triggered. And you can be as spiritual as you like, but if you're triggered when walking down the street, you will not be spiritual for those few minutes. You will let loose. and you will probably succumb to your negative emotions, and it doesn't matter how much you've meditated that day. That's where the shadow work comes in, dealing with our darkest fears and qualities and attributes that we have been carrying around our whole life, and just saying, enough, I don't want to be this person anymore. I want to be a better version of myself. I don't want to be triggered every second by stupid and random things. I want to be more present. I want to be more loving. I want to be with less ego, and I want to remember who I am and connect to my soul on a daily basis. And, every morning I'll meditate, and I look for shadows. I look for negative thoughts or negative experiences that I'm carrying with me. I do it on a daily basis. I work with people who come to my house on a daily basis. I reflect their shadow to them, and I help them see themselves in a more loving light. There is nothing scary about shadow work unless you're scared of letting go of your ego and the things that are holding you back. And that's just stupid because it's holding you back. And it doesn't have to. So I don't think shadow work is that scary. The naked yoga, we're naked in the class. It's a dark room and no one's behind you or in front of you. We're kind of in a square around the room, but you're naked and there's no masks and nowhere to hide. And that's where the shadow can kind of come up and we can face him in a more loving way. And it's a lot of work with the inner child, accepting our inner child, letting our inner child be innocent and free and loving, and dealing with all the shit that we have inside of us and bringing it up to the surface and then kicking it away because we've, bring more light to the situation and to ourselves. So naked yoga, shadow work, if there are parts of you that you want to deal with and that are holding you back from being the person you want to be and doing things you want to do, I recommend shadow work. And if you're in Tel Aviv ever, join me in the naked yoga tantric classes. I am not the teacher. I am a student. The teacher's name is Nemo. You can find him on YouTube. And he is an amazing guru to me and to other people who have been studying with him, just how to release the ego, do the shadow work, and just be the best version of ourselves, because that's, I guess, all I've ever wanted to be. That's it. So I was Nutella, and I'll upload more videos on the subject. And like I said, if you are in Tel Aviv, come to the naked yoga class. I also do private sessions online on Skype. If you do want to do shadow work with me and you kind of connect to my vibe, just PM me and we'll talk.